What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of The Rhythm. I'm Tommy, she's Leah, and today we're going to be doing the top 5 picks that the Blues could potentially make at pick number 10 in the 2023 NHL Draft.
Unfortunately, things didn't go our way, considering the Chicago Blackhawks are the ones that ended up with Connor Bedard, and we are picking 10th.
So whether or not you think the NHL lottery is rigged, it definitely is.
I'm not looking at anything, because all I see are lies and collusion. This whole season is null and void.
Let's begin with getting into our pick for number 5.
Coming in at number 5, we have David Reinbacher. This would seem to be a good pick for the Blues, considering he is a 6'2" defenseman. That would help us, considering all of our defensemen are very short and not very good.
We've got Matthew Kessel, who's a small offensive defenseman. You've got Scott Perunovich, who is a small offensive defenseman. You've got Nick Leddy, who's a small offensive defenseman. And you've got Torrey Krug, who's a small offensive defenseman. So this guy is the number 1 defenseman in the draft. If you're going based off of best player available, probably not going to go with him at number 10. But if you're drafting off of need, this guy looks like a lock for the Blues. Moving on to number 4. Let's go Ryan Leonard from the U.S. men's developmental team. Leonard primarily plays center, but has also spent time on wing, which shows the versatility of his position and the player that he is, which, as we know, the Blues love to jostle their lineups around, put guys on wing or center, so that falls in line perfectly with their philosophy. But Ryan Leonard is an absolute beast. This guy, 57 games played last year, 94 points, and in those 57 games, he scored 51 times. That's just an absolute beautiful stat display from the kid, especially going into his draft year.
Analytics project Ryan to be right under Cole Caulfield and right above Trevor Zegras in terms of talent projection.
Honestly, Ryan Leonard reminds me a lot of Jake Neighbors, but an amplified version of him. He's got a smaller frame. I believe he's like 5'11", but he's sturdy. He's stocky. He's got that lower base in the legs to be able to fight off opponents and would-be defenders. But he's also got a shot and a half, which, love Jake Neighbors. He has the offensive potential there, but Ryan Leonard definitely has a better snapshot than him. So if you're looking for a good comp for the St. Louis Blues, as well as a notifier to whether or not the Blues would be interested in him. If he's similar to Jake Neighbors and the Blues have already drafted Jake Neighbors, I think this makes a lot of sense for the team.
Coming in at number 3, we have Dalibor Dvorsky. First off, what a cool name. That's very much a hockey name. Second, he is a very tall two-way player, center, wing. That's also good for the St. Louis Blues with the versatility like we were talking about before, and also has a nasty one-timer.
If you watch the St. Louis Blues this year, the absence of David Perron was very eye-opening, and missing him on the power play, I think, was a large part of that. Obviously, the power play coaches are gone, and the special teams are going to look very much different next year, but I think having a guy with a nasty one-timer on it, like Dalibor Dvorsky has, could potentially push them back to where they want to be. Coming in at number 2, we've got Andrew Crystal. 95, count 'em, 95 points in 54 games last year. That is 1.76 points per game, which is second to Connor Bedard in the entire league.
Imagine having a guy that passes the puck like Robert Thomas on the same line as Robert Thomas. That is Andrew Crystal.
Like Robert Thomas, you know, he's obviously one of the up-and-coming players in the NHL, and a lot of people think highly of him, but I think as St. Louis Blues fans, we think higher of him because we see him on a day-to-day basis. This guy's passing ability reminds me like identical to Robert Thomas, which is nuts. Is he 5'10"? Yes. Is he 165 pounds? Yes. Is he going to get bumped off of pucks? Yes. Is he going to bury guys into the ice? Probably not. But if the Blues philosophy is now catering towards speed-based, which we saw them bring in Verana and Kapanen last year, so it's possible that it might be. Having this guy on a line with Robert Thomas and with Jordan Kyrou, that's a path to success in my book.
Good night.
And rounding out our top 5 list at number 1, we're going to go with Oliver Moore. Personally, I feel like this guy has the entire package, and his skating ability jumps out of the stadium at you. 75 points with the U.S. men's developmental team last year, and he's committed to the University of Minnesota, which means he'll be playing next year with Jimmy Snuggerud.
And that wraps up our 5 picks for who the Blues should pick in this draft. Comment below who you think would fit.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. That way you guys never miss a video. We're going to be pumping out some more of them coming up here soon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.